Hello and welcome to a wet and rainy Portland, Oregon, which I'm sure you're very surprised by. We're here tonight in Portland as we await the Cougs kicking off in Corvallis tomorrow night. You may think it may be hard to preview this game tomorrow as WSU has a completely new staff and therefore anything that happened in the past between these two teams doesn't really apply. However, Rolovich and Hawaii played Oregon State last year and won 31-28. I looked back on that matchup to see what the Cougs can learn as they head into Corvallis tomorrow. First of all, oh boy did Oregon State struggle in defending the run and shoot last year. Hawaii quarterback Cole McDonald put up some stellar numbers. He went 30 of 52 for 421 yards and 4 touchdowns. He also had 1 interception and 1 fumble. Receiver JoJo Ward caught 10 of McDonald's passes for 189 yards, and he caught all 4 touchdowns. There wasn't a lot of running in this game as Hawaii only put up 67 yards rushing, but obviously they didn't need it. Overall, the Bows had 8 explosive plays, aka plays of 20 or more yards. 3 of those explosive plays resulted in touchdowns. To put it simply, Rolovich needs to hope that his offense shows up in a similar way as last year. He needs to hope that Jaden Delores' arm is as good as McDonald's. That happens especially with Delores' superior receiving core, and Oregon State is toast. This is an offense that saw great success against the Beavers' defense, and that should put WSU fans at ease. Now, I did mention those turnovers. The interception resulted in a touchdown drive for the Beavs, while the fumble didn't hurt Hawaii at all. Obviously, 2 turnovers, though, are not ideal. So how did the Bows make up for it? My goodness, were they disciplined on offense. They only had 2 offensive penalties the entire game, and 1 was a false start and the other was holding. 2 penalties for 20 yards for an offense is excellent. They only had 4 penalties for 40 yards overall. It honestly seems like a bit of an anomaly as Hawaii averaged 61 yards of penalties per game last year, which was the second worst in the Mountain West. Only Colorado State averaged more yards of penalties per game at 65. Even if you take out one game where the Bows had 135 yards in penalties, they'd still come in 9th in the conference in penalties. This would concern me a little bit as a WSU fan, as they had to play nearly flawless to win that game. But this next point would make me more optimistic. Hawaii should have won their game against Oregon State by a whole lot more. Their kicker won the game for them with a 28-yard field goal with 2:17 left. However, before that, he missed 2 48-yard field goals and 1 27-yard field goal. Translation, the run and shoot had even more success going down the field against Oregon State than the score indicated. I guarantee Blake Mazza makes the 27-yard field goal and at least one of those 48-yard field goals. His foot could be a huge key come tomorrow if their offense is once again able to do what it did last year to the Beavs. WSU and Oregon State kick off at 7:30 tomorrow night on FS1. We'll have pregame coverage in our 5 and 6 o'clock shows, and we're hoping to sneak some highlights into the 11 o'clock. Reporting in Portland, I'm Brenna Green from 2 Sports.